Refinement in Scrum. The product backlog is an orderly and emergent list of what is needed to improve the product. It is the sole source of the work undertaken by the Scrum team. Items of the product backlog that are detailed enough, broken down, thin and likely to be completed in a single sprint by the Scrum team are considered ready to be processed in sprint planning. They usually acquire this degree of transparency after being refined. Refinement of the product backlog involves breaking down and further defining the items in the backlog into finer and more precise elements. This is an ongoing activity to add details, such as description, order, and size. Attributes often vary depending on the field of activity. The developers who will perform the work are responsible for the sizing. The product owner can influence or help the developers by clarifying his explanations and helping them to find compromises. To add a size or estimate, they can use the poker planning method. For example, poker planning can be used during a refinement session, but also during the sprint planning session if the team failed to add all the estimates during refinement. Among the official Scrum events are the sprint planning, the daily Scrum, the sprint review, and the retrospective. Refinement is not part of these events because the Scrum team decides when and how product backlog refinement will be done. There are teams that prefer to have 1 hour each week of the sprint dedicated to refinement. Teams that have planned 2-3 hours of refinement during each sprint, but there are also teams that do it ad hoc, when it is necessary. From what we have seen in the field, our recommendation is to have a session scheduled in the team calendar for each sprint. Choose the same day. This way, everyone will be available, and the product owner can better prepare the highest priority product backlog items for the session. It's just a recommendation because in the Scrum Guide, the refinement is left to the adaptation for each context, and it's the team that decides how to do it.